baseball and golf balls. So
That's not good.
I'll leave a mark.
that would.
Body men like that.
Mhm.
Body men like that.
It's not
Yeah.
related to the council meeting per se, but if anybody is interested in viewing any of the statistics that we have on Facebook, as in male or female, the age demographic of people that are viewing our Facebook, and how many people are reacting and commenting, I have it all here if you want it.
How do you get that?
Facebook has it. Facebook business. So I didn't make a copy for everybody. It's just if you're interested. Not a big deal. I find it interesting because then I can target who I'm posting to, but. Oh. We got our next COVID money. Friday we get it.
That.
$83,500.
ARPA?
Yep.
ARPA.
ARPA.
Well, we'll call the meeting order, announce the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Add to the agenda.
More engineering is gonna give us a tiny little update on our project.
Old as holes. Want to make a motion to.
Make a motion. to approve.
Motion made to approve the agendas or second.
Second.
Motion been made and second to approve the agenda with the addition of more. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. Minutes.
Motion approved.
Made to approve the minutes as written. For a second.
I second.
Motion been made and second to approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anything, Andy?
No, the dance on Saturday, went really well for us. We had 6 guys there, and crowds and everything were great, and yeah, we had 0 issues.
What do you ask them? How many people do you ask them if they're Andy? I heard one person say 100, and I heard another one say 200. So
I would say, I think it's in 150.
Yeah, that's what I kind of said.
You know, right.
wow. Here, I understand he's talking next year again already.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Scaling back, doing a few different things, yeah, but he's gonna start in August, getting things going, because he's trying to work on he's building a home in Michigan, log cabin, about 10 acres of land on the river in Michigan. He's building a log cabin up there. So he'll be tied up for the next couple of months, so he's gonna try and get him started again. That's really smaller.
But everything went fine then.
Yeah.
I talked to Bruce, he said they didn't get the calls, for extra help or anything, so.
Yep. I think one thing that helped them out was selling the beer cups. People don't want, people don't want to throw them away or leave them behind or anything. So really, even when it was all done, about 12:15, 12:30, really didn't even see anything for trash stuff left behind. It was all pretty clean.
I
That's pretty spendy for the beer. It's $8 for the cup and $8 for a refill. Unless you want a VIP ticket.
Yeah, that's pretty high for beer.
But if you paid $100 for your ticket, then you got all the beer and hot dogs you wanted.
That's not true.
Huh?
That's not true.
Really?
Yeah,
They said it was unlimited beer with that VIP.
I guess not.
Really?
Yeah,
What, after 2 glasses or?
they had like a $6 or what was it, a $6 cup and an
$8.
$8 cup. And Jason called me today and wasn't very happy that somehow or another that rumor got started and he owes the golf course like $1,000 for all the beer.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
So they were sneaking over there and filling up. Oh,
Yeah, somehow, I had heard the same thing though, so.
Well, that's what it said on that one sign. It's like $100 VIP, you get all the beer
Yeah, I don't know.
wow. Oh, boy.
and the golf course was the one setting up the price for the beer.
Oh,
But $8 for a tap beer, that's like 12 ounces. That's kind of like highway robbery, but I
yeah.
don't.
That's
Cheaper than like Alaris prices. but
Yeah,
For a deal like this, kind of spending.
yeah.
Nothing else, then? Everything, county's going good?
Yeah, we're still trying to hire somebody and just counted the openings today, and there was like 41 openings throughout the state.
Oh, so you're not the only one.
No, there's a lot of places looking right now. But, you know, us missing, being down one guy hurts a lot more than my not being down a guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so.
yeah, understand.
Do you ever go to the law enforcement academy at Devil's Lake?
I haven't yet. So a couple years back, I started going to like Minot and Grand Forks and Fargo. I don't even know when they have classes up here anymore, or when they actually have the actual academy going on.
Academy in Devil's Lake is always in the fall,
They still have one,
just
yeah.
in the fall.
just in the fall. Yeah.
They usually have like 20 or 30 kids in a room.
The enrollment has been, the last few years has been kind of tough.
Yeah.
Like everything else too.
But I did,
Body and Wapaton's down to 6 kids
oh,
in one class. They used to have 2 classes of 30. They're down to 1 teacher with 6 kids.
I did hear that Todd might have a relative. Gage Holstead.
Post.
Yeah, I heard he was going through the academy or the law enforcement program down in Devil's Lake,
Oh, he's yeah,
playing basketball or something. You're not gonna be much help then trying to track him down.
no. I mean, I know his mom,
Sure.
but she's my cousin.
No, that's our biggest struggle right now, is just trying to. It'd be really nice to fill that spot before.
It'd be nice for
School starts and stuff.
military work
Yeah.
at your age to be a deputy.
Well, and that's the other thing we did. So when we started hiring, you know, we kept our sights pretty high and, you know, X amount of college credits, some experience or combination of both. And we've gotten rid of everything. All we're looking for is a heartbeat, US citizen, 18, and a driver's license. And we've even, you know, if there's somebody out in the county that's, you know, younger or, you know, has considered it, love to talk to them and, you know, take a ride with us and check things out. And you know, at that point, we would pay for them to go to the academy in Bismarck. But yeah, I mean,
Do they have to go through the program first at Lake Region, or can they go straight to the academy?
they would go straight to the academy. We would hire them under like a limited license. And after, you know, they run that academy twice a year. And we'd hopefully be able to get them in at the English Academy and they'd go to that for, I guess, 12 weeks or something. And then they'd come back and they'd be fully licensed and there you go.
And they just go with like another deputy for a while?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else? Nope. Legacy Summerfield quotes on going whole business here.
You guys asked for the propane information, so I grabbed a year snapshot of it. I guessed about $20,000 last meeting, and it's pretty close.
How many tanks do we got that we fill?
No, we got, well, your place and the city.
We don't have one. City doesn't have one. The fire hall has one. The water plant has two, and the shop has one. So 4.
Is the water plant actually need one?
Where is that at? The last one you said?
The water plant and the shop. Bus barn.
Oh, the bus barn has one, yeah. I forgot about that.
Do they cut down on that water plant, or do they need to keep that fully heated?
Well, I don't think it's all that warm in there, but you know, in my house, those stacks are going all the time, so I don't know what they got them set up.
I was gonna ask you, how warm do we gotta keep that water plant anymore?
Well,
Just above freezing, wouldn't you?
I usually kept it around 55 when I worked there.
Yeah, but then, and that's because you were making water, but I mean, now you could keep it at 40, couldn't you?
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose the only thing is Scott's office is in there, but.
Well, the office has got ceiling mounts.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. You can just
They're electric.
shut that door and you got, keep
Yeah.
it warm.
Yeah, I wouldn't know why we'd have to keep that thing. You want to.
You know,
Well, I gotta check again on that bus barn a few years ago here. We got after them several times because they were keeping it about 70, 75 in there because that fire truck was in. Well, that didn't matter anymore. You know, it's all you do is stay above freezing.
Yeah, and then as far as the pumps, where the high service pumps are, now that should be kept maybe at 60. You know, that room
Well,
should
really
be.
no way to isolate that. Then, is there?
Yeah, it's got its own furnace in it.
Oh, does,
But,
okay.
you know, I don't know what those, I've been back there and you gotta walk out, it's so hot in there, you know. So maybe we'll just have to lay the law down, you know.
So get this straight, Amanda, this highway, that's the shop.
Yep, 201 is the bus barn, 206, of course, is the fire hall, and 601 is the water plant.
But the shop, there's two of them on this one, the highway 201,
Yeah,
that's the shop and the bus barn.
I don't recall, I'm
601
sorry.
is which now? That's
601 is the water
water
plant.
plant. Yeah, okay.
I'd have to check on that. Sig, I can't remember. I thought we had 2 at the water plant, but maybe we have 1 at the water plant. I don't recall. 4 tanks anyway.
And the bus barn is propane or is that electric?
Pardon?
Is it the bus barn is propane heat or electric?
Propane, I believe.
No, I think that's electric.
Is it electric?
I might have it wrong, you guys. I'd have to look at the slips
I
because I
don't know.
can't remember.
I haven't known that one.
I don't know, there's a-
Sitting around that. I think that is electric.
I haven't been in there since they put that in
Yeah, I think that's electric. I could be wrong, but I think.
there.
I think it's not the bus barn. I think it's the shop
Is the 201.
is the 201.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the
Yeah.
amounts and, yeah, I wonder if we can pull.
Yeah.
No doubt there's a lot going in that water.
Oh, so Winterfield, the highest we paid is $1.97, and that's what they're offering for winter.
No. They're paying for summer for Winterfield.
Yeah.
Summerfield right now is 172.
Yeah, we could prepay at that, might be different, but if it's $1.97, and prices are coming down on natural gas. On the propane will come down.
Scott. The bus barn out there, that's electric heat? Yeah, okay, thank you. Yep. Yeah, it's electric. Bus barn's electric.
So it's just the shop that's propane.
Yeah,
And that was set up plenty of. And I know that temperature can be brought down.
So do you think we want to prepay or not? I mean, if their winter's $1.97, that's the highest we paid. Just don't know if it'd be really cost effective, that's pretty.
Well.
I don't remember what it is now. What is the price right now? If we just go-
$172.
172, so you're 20 bucks cents.
But we can't pay that for winter fill. You can only top off.
Just that's all you can do is top it off. But I mean, as far as the 197, yeah, I don't.
The prepay, the only thing that's you're saving is in case the goes sky high in the winter, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't, that's trouble. You
You
don't
never know.
This day and age is so screwy that.
And do they give municipality a discount Senex at all or no? I mean,
No, 'cause that's,
I don't
that
think
one
so.
seventy-two is what they're off. This is
I think-
exactly what I got.
I think they
That's
told
my
me the
house.
same thing. I think it's all the same.
They're not giving us nothing.
okay. I guess if it was up to me, I wouldn't, if it would have been cheaper, but once you see the 197, you could probably just do that.
Right.
We could do a top off now.
Do the summer field.
Do the
drop off.
summer fill, yeah, just should do that and say, that's.
Oh, no,
cheapest it's gonna be.
it doesn't say how long that goes, I mean.
Well,
So you mean
Usually
summer fill
tank
just to
off.
top every
Everything off
tank
now.
off?
they'll have all the tanks now, yeah. We've already did ours, it won't be long, and they'll start upping it. It's a lot quicker if it was a normal year, but our crops are late this year, because they always go up before harvest
So
starts.
it's gonna-
You
yeah.
need grain dryer.
Yep.
So. And it's bad, I mean, we bought. Prepaid on a bunch and actually had the price go down on us by the next year. But you gotta burn up what you paid for the high dollar stuff first, and then they start bringing in cheaper stuff, so. So I mean, it's, you gotta be a little, and you get a warmer winter, of course, you won't use near as much, so I mean, it's.
And if we can control these,
Get these heats
Temperatures
down, I
and
think it'll
everything.
help a little bit too, yeah. And I,
Shop at 70 degrees.
yeah, that does not.
They don't need to be walking around in t-shirt
no, that's almost too hot to work, it'd be comfortable, you
when you
know.
keep yours in.
65.
That's
Are
even
you steady
21.
at 65 or just you back it off at night?
No, I don't change it. That's,
70 degrees.
that's a waste, I think.
That's even 21, I said, for working it.
What's that?
68 to 70.
Yeah,
I'm getting old.
That's what I'm gonna say, that's just old age. right?
ours is used oil though, too, so.
Yeah,
I've
right.
tried
Still
running it at
working pretty good.
45 or 50 and you really don't save that much.
No,
And turning it up and down, you save nothing.
No.
no, it takes
I
long.
want
to
you
catch
with
up.
that.
That's
I've been
fine.
doing it that way for years, my house.
Mhm.
It isn't the same,
I
it
have
takes, it's
already-
what, it's how long it's down low.
I have floors, you can run everything.
You can't do it.
Yeah,
But like Broughton used to keep that shop at 60, sit there and never touch it the whole winter, no matter what. the temperature
Yeah.
was.
yeah, and if you're working, it's fine.
Yeah.
Put a light jacket on and that's plenty warm.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we need a motion then to do the summer fill, I suppose.
Make a motion that we do summer fill now,
Yeah.
because we're not using that much anyway right now.
Well, I shouldn't be hardly using any now, so. Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded to top off all the propane tanks, it's, yes, summer fill price. So all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. More engineering, you wanna bring them up?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Brad.
You guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I've got just a quick update on the sewer water project. We're finalizing our letter agreement, and this is for the preliminary engineering services, which includes defining the project scope, funding applications, and yeah, I guess basically those two things, but we're going to wrap that up by the end of the week, and we'll email that to Amanda, and then she can share that with your city attorney if he wants to review that. And essentially we're already working on these things, but it just to get that agreement in place and keep moving forward. any questions on that project at all? The other thing is, I guess we need to set up the next scoping meeting. And so we'd like to do that this next week if possible.
I couldn't hear that. Set up the next what?
This next week, if possible. And what I'll do, Raleigh, is I'll email you with a few dates that work for us. And then if you can pull the committee together or whoever you want to attend that meeting. The goal of the meeting will be to basically finalize what the project scope will be.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think we're pretty close, but there's a few question marks yet, so.
Okay. Well, the big priority would be to get that lift station in and that buried down to the lagoon, you know, first.
Yeah.
I mean, we want that done before we worry about anything else.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll review or update my cost estimates. There's one more that I need to finish. And then that'll show all the different costs of the different parts of the project scope. And then the goal will be, you know, if we can get everything done, you know, maybe there's a little bit more we can do, or maybe there's components that you guys will have to prioritize, just depending on how far the dollars stretch.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll be the goal of that meeting. What's that?
And say the way it's going, it's gonna be higher price next year than it is now, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's hard to say. You never know what prices do, but they're definitely going up. So, all right, yeah, that's all I had. Like I said, I'll send you an email, Raleigh, with a few dates that work for us, and just let us know date and time, and then we'll have it then.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you.
You bet, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm sure they are, but I don't.
how do I make you big? I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, that was Amanda. That was Josh on the line.
I see that. Yep.
Yep.
He's your other representative, guys.
Yep, correct. He's
One
a
line.
project manager out of our
Right.
Minot office.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I don't know how to get rid of you guys here. I apologize. For anyone listening to the recording, I'm sorry. We'll be small today.
So they're still on there now.
They're just listening. Yes.
Okay, anybody else have any old business? If not, we can move on to the new. What do we got? Lease coming up.
For the fire department.
Okay.
How long do the leases for?
Once a year.
A year.
Every year
Yeah.
you pay that $50.
I think they used to have them, you pay like, every time you filled, they'd add like 3 cents a gallon or 2 or 3 cents, you know, so.
I'm thinking if we'd have had a 500 gallon tank, you probably wouldn't pay $50.
No, probably not.
I do at my house. You still have to pay 50? Nothing. I don't have to pay anything at my shop, which is 500, and I'm gonna pay 50 at my house, which is $1,000.
No, I thought they had a price on everything, but.
No, I ain't gonna say anymore then.
No. I'd be quiet if I was you.
Quiet. I am now.
So we'll just usually do that, I think. to hand it in.
I probably need a motion for that too.
All right, we need a motion then to accept that lease.
That's a lot of.
Motion's been made, is there a second? I'll second. Motion's been made, a second then to accept pay the lease on the $50 lease on the tank to the fire department. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay. Okay, fee schedule. Here's kind of what
as you guys can see, this is the fee schedule since 2020 that council had approved. If there would be any changes that you guys would want to do for the next upcoming budget cycle or before the upcoming budget cycle, we have to publish and get those approved if you want any changes. The one that I thought, which might not be on here, I can't tell, campground price, and I don't think they're not all on here, but might be on page 2. Sewer rates and campground prices.
No, it's in about the camp.
Yeah, I don't see it on here either. This is one that's on our website, but campground right now is $18 a day.
Well, we just talked about that. I mean, it was,
Mhm.
I think that's gotta go up. That
Yeah,
$18 a day. What did we come up with? What were those numbers?
I think we decided potentially $25 a day.
That's with the hookup for electric.
Yep.
Yeah, $25.
that's a good round number.
And then we want to go. What were the
And then
others?
there was a little discount on weekly and monthly. Monthly, we decided what, 500?
I think it was
500.
I think it's in the notes.
150,
150 for
150 for a week and 500 for the month. I think.
For a full, for 7 days.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the notes on the budget committee. But the budget committee will bring, their recommendations, but my thought process was if we wanted to make a change yet this year to capture anybody that's here.
I was almost thinking we were raising that street repair to $10.
you know what?
Street repair, it's $6 now. This page. And a lot of them. Raise that to 10. Under that. On the bottom, second from that.
Oh,
Well, you gotta remember too, we gotta raise stuff for that.
What's that?
We gotta raise rates for that loan. That loan we're gonna have to do for the street. or the Sewer.
sewer rates are gonna be going up. That's, we gotta get this all lumped together here when we get done. One thing too, this equipment charge on the backside there, I think we should just do away with that. As far as renting out our equipment, I don't think we should even have it. I don't think they've rented any equipment
Has
out
anybody
forever.
ever rented them? I never did.
They haven't for a long time.
Well, that way you're not going against a private entity.
Yeah.
The city's not going against, which we're not supposed to.
Well, there's nobody in town that can sell stuff, so you're really not competing with anybody.
Well, there's other people that do work.
But I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
like the loader doesn't say that on there, but I know before we always had that on there, our operators had to be on it, so that, this fee is way too low for that. And I don't know if they've ever rented a payload,
Just like when on a project, like, did we get any money from them Hydro Queen guys or,
I don't even know.
they used it hauling heavy loads and the
Did
thing was smoking so bad that,
the city bill them for that?
well, it's too late now, but
I mean,
that could have been something that I thought it was brought up a couple times.
Once for sure, I thought. they
Yeah, I know it was
built it.
brought up
Maybe
once.
not, probably didn't.
I don't know.
But I think that's something just do away with.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
safest.
We're just not gonna rent it through.
Yeah, just don't do anything with it. Then the trucks, I mean, the only time, couple times they went out, well, our laws stated from the time they leave till they come back, it's that much a day. And I know it was used for some shingle stuff and that, where it sat for days there at the place and got $25 for it or whatever it was, or 20, so I mean, it's just better
Yeah,
if it just stays in the parking lot, It doesn't amount, and then they drive them out, way out in the country on loader, well, you don't, it hardly pays the gas. So, I do think, and we did discuss this, I mean, this will have to come up again later, but the last figures I think we've seen, if we don't have any other money to put in this, we gotta borrow the 1.1 million. We're probably gonna have to raise that sewer rate by between $8 and $9 a month. To cover that for 30 years. So I think, and I don't know if we'd start this at the first of the year or what, but I think we should maybe just bump it about $5 for the sewer right now. And then hopefully if this prairie dog and stuff will come in, maybe we won't have to go up anymore. You know,
I thought a lot of this was gonna be done from a grant anyway, ARPA money and stuff. How much ARPA money?
ARPA can't be used for that.
You can't use a grant for a grant.
Oh,
That's federal money. You can't use it. It's a federal project, or the money, the 1.1 or the 3 million we're getting comes from the Fed, so you can't use their money to go against that. But now the prairie dog, so if that'll fail, that's 290,000. If that fails this year.
They are
Which-
projecting that it should.
And then they think it should. See, so that we can carry that over till next year. And then if we can get that again, see, we damn near have it covered then. If we did the $5 deal, so.
So our sewer would go from 5 to 10.
That's yeah, and we'll have to bring this up when we come up with the budget, but I mean, that would, I think we talked about this a little bit at the budget meeting, that maybe that would be the, maybe just raise the sewer from $5 to go up to 10 and start at the first of the year. That'd give us a little bit of cushion then before all this starts. Okay.
My question was, did you guys want to wait till January or do you want to start padding money in August, September?
I think we could start in January in the new year, myself. But we'll have to discuss that further when we get into the budget part of things, so. Did anybody else got any thoughts on the rest of these things, I guess?
What did we land on the campground? Increasing it now or waiting till next year?
What do you do with the people that are out there right now?
Well, they've paid some, but we'd have to have a start date. We'd have to publish that. So if
now
you're,
we go August 1st.
if you go August 1, whoever hasn't paid up until August 1, bummer
They
for
would get
you.
the old rate and then
Right.
start at August 1st, it
Yep.
starts over again.
And they could just you can have a fire and put
Mhm,
it on their door or something.
Yeah, I would notify everybody.
mhm.
That sounds good to me. Rod?
I would probably wait till next spring,
Oh.
but, because there's quite a few construction guys out there right now, they might still let us.
We
They-
typically have,
They talk to me every day and I don't want to hear
yeah,
it. Al's out there, Binkley, who comes down the road,
Al,
Binkley comes down the road, who's doing that road.
oh,
we could even do
There's no confusion if
September.
you start at the first of the year.
that's true. That part's good.
Nobody's gonna be camping out there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know, I just don't like the thought of changing it midstream when guys are there and.
Well, that's the part I wondered about.
Okay.
When are they gonna start on the hospital the other year?
I've-
Middle of August.
I had heard
Yeah.
now maybe in 2 to 3 weeks, maybe.
Because I was thinking there'd be a lot of guys probably want to go up there.
And the first thing is still turning the football field. So, I mean, it's.
Yeah, they're planning on having football, which I don't know how, but half the guys said they're not gonna play because it's gonna be away games only.
Anybody got?
Really downtown school, that's. You say, hey, you can do whatever you want, but just leave our field until the season.
Well, yeah, but then they'd be in November.
Everything stopped then.
You can't start digging in November. It could be froze up before too long.
They wanted to do a ribbon cutting and originally it was supposed to be August 1. I don't think that's realistic anymore, but when they do an official ribbon cutting, they would want, a community engagement event type thing.
They've got some more stuff they're still ironing out.
Mhm.
Some of our company.
Yeah. I actually wanted to do that May 15th.
Yeah, originally.
Mhm.
Originally, so. But how about the landfill? I think everything on that probably looks like it's okay.
The only thing that I had maybe thought of is if you guys, the nuisance cleanup, nuisance mowing, price of gas and the price of our bodies that are doing it is 150 high enough to prevent people from just relying on us to mow their
Oh,
grass.
yes, that's high.
That's pretty high.
That's really high,
Okay.
but I mean, we always did it, so at that rate, so.
I think that's what Doug's like charges too. is
150, yep. And then, you know, I didn't see any other,
That's why go hire somebody, do it way cheaper than that, so. You know,
If they're smart, they would, but they don't.
no.
Sig and I had talked a little bit about delinquencies on utility reconnects. And so it's, right now we have a $50 reconnect charge. I have not been as diligent on collecting timely payments. And so I'm kind of attempting to get that back together. We obviously don't want to penalize too hard for people that are struggling to pay their utilities, but it needs to hurt just a little bit because we kind of have some repeat people.
And I know there's people that are delinquent that are in the bar a lot, so it does, I mean.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
straight.
I think I've shut off 3 people in the year that I've worked here. I mean, I let it go, call them, and we'd like to streamline our processes just a little bit so that we're not spending so much staff time chasing it. So we, Sig and I had kind of worked up a little bit of a plan. One period behind, that's kind of easy to do if your check is in the mail and we cut bills, you know, that's, it happens. 2 periods behind, we would send a letter giving you 2 additional weeks, and then you would have a disconnect and then have to pay the reconnect fee. Am I remembering that right, Sig?
I think so, yeah.
Is that pay bill in full plus $50?
It would be
Yes.
paid in full plus $50, but it kind of depends on how you look at it. So if you are collecting money in between a bill cycle, it would be paid in full the amount that's delinquent,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, your
The
current.
delinquent amount plus,
Mhm,
yeah.
the delinquent amount. And then we talked a little bit about requiring money to go on your account so that you're a little bit, you're paying ahead essentially. That's what some utilities do after you've basically lost your privilege for credit essentially.
They used to do a deposit if you got disconnected.
Mhm.
If we disconnected twice at the phone company within a year, you had to pay $150 deposit no matter what.
Yeah,
Especially, you know, that way they had some money in case back. After the 3rd time, then your bill had to be paid every month, no matter what, to the way we cut off.
I think that's where I'm gonna probably have to tighten up a little bit. Because I have, like, you know, we've all been there, right? Where, how am I gonna pay that bill? How am I gonna pay that bill? And I think what happens then is people take advantage of that stance. And so I have to tighten up a little bit, and I've been attempting, we're gonna change some operational things to make that a little bit easier.
More.
Mhm.
We're supplying a service.
Yep. And we have to market that to our customers, our residents. It's, I mean, it's a service, it's a business. Everybody should have access to clean water, but you have to pay your bill. So I would like to implement that and draft a little comment to put on the next bill and put it on our website. If you guys are okay with, you know, if you are 2 periods behind, we send you a letter. Once you get 2.5 periods behind, you get a red tag. And then whatever it is, 5 days or whatever to pay it.
You
So
get
that,
quite a few a month, I mean, that aren't paying.
I would say over the last 6 months, it's gotten incredibly larger because what happens is oh, she didn't do anything to me about not paying my bill. Let's go a little bit more,
Well,
you know?
and everything's going up a lot, the groceries and everything, it's,
Yeah.
money's getting tighter.
So if we send them a letter that most of the time that gets people's attention, you don't have to red tag them. Gives them, 2 weeks-ish, and then the red tag would remind them, and they would still have a good 3 to 5 days, probably more like 5 days.
I think you probably said if you're gonna do that, give them the 5 days, then you start the 10th,
Yep.
the 15th and shut off.
Yeah, when I was doing that, we had a little different system. We didn't send them letters.
Mhm.
I just went and put the key down the hole. I'd wait till they're home and they'd look out the window and they'd give me the money right there. I'm
Yeah.
serious. That's-
I'm having
Never sent any
some,
letters.
the office staff needs to be a little bit more directly
Yeah,
involved.
letters good.
In what happens so that we know what's being communicated. We're kind of running into a little bit of
If
that.
they could at least pay their, if they're struggling, at least pay their.
Their
second month.
default, that's right.
Yeah.
And then it would kick them a little bit. I mean,
I don't
Obviously-
agree with that. You got yourself into that trouble.
Yeah. And they're just.
So all you gotta do
just
is keep
that's
paying that month, and that first month never gets paid.
Kind
Right.
of like they do with their taxes. They'll
Yes.
Pay the 1 year's taxes till I get 3 year taxes. And then pay
Yeah.
another one.
some towns are a little bit tighter. Like you go 1.5 bill cycles and they're, letting you doing a letter.
People are more than lenient on this.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're more than lenient the way we are, yeah. It probably
So-
should be tightened up more, because it's only gonna get worse.
I would say over the last 6 months, it went from maybe the hot list of 5 to a hot list of 15. And
That's quite a jump.
that's quite a jump because we haven't,
And
We've
if we're
been
not
giving-
jumping on them quick enough.
That's
It's over
right.
60%.
we're given leeway a little bit too much. And that's my fault. Like I said, I feel kind of bad. Oh, I know, it's tough, just get me a payment. Well, if the payment comes, that's great. If it doesn't come,
The only thing that works is
Hmm.
the water.
that's right. Honestly, that's probably the most effective.
Yep.
So I will, you'll see that on your next bill in some form. I don't know if it'll be a sticky note on the back or if it'll be a 2 sentence statement, but do that as well.
All right, so let's about the time cards and payments and all that.
I have a memo that you guys can redline if you want. This is operational, relating to employee issues. So we've kind of had a few different complications in the office, so I'm attempting to run it a little bit more like what every other business does instead of,
I personally don't think we need to get involved in that. I think that's something for you to handle.
the employees were not very happy when I posed this in the very beginning.
They never said a thing went wrong.
Yeah, they, I had an employee say, you can't deny me pay. I'm not denying pay. I'm just giving myself 1 business day to process payroll. Almost every company gives their payroll person a week to 2 weeks to process. I don't think it's reasonable that the city of Cando has been doing 8 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour.
No, I don't. either. I agree
It's
with
not reasonable. So I'm asking for an additional 1.5 days essentially to process the payroll. It wouldn't go into effect until that pay period 16, and it would only delay their paycheck 1 time for 2 days, and then they're back in that cycle of every 2 weeks, So I think the employee, everybody wants their money, and I get that, but I don't think what was happening was reasonable. And to prevent there being employee issues aimed at me, I'm bringing this to council because I'm not HR. So
You just want a motion that that's just the way it's gonna be. Is that what you're asking?
am,
I think that's more than reasonable.
I'll make a motion to,
Go with Amanda's suggestion.
yes.
I'll second it.
All right, Roger got a second. So motion been made and second, then we're gonna change this a little bit on, give the auditor at least a day or day and a half to make the payroll. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now you can blame us. That's all you want, man.
Blame isn't the right word. Shared responsibility.
Put us on the hook. Scott ain't gonna be here, I guess he's under the weather. From what I understand. So, planning and zoning. What'd you do, Rod?
We just looked at the legalities of vacating that property, and it was all good, so bring it to council to decide whether or not we're doing it.
So you were recommending,
We just, not necessarily recommending we do it, we just, everything is legal and legit
to do.
to do it. Yeah. And they would be billed any fees that come with vacating the property, or abstracts or whatever, updates and.
On your man, you got Chairman Gibbons, I think I appointed Rudy as the chairman. I believe.
I might have that documented wrong. I can check it. Yeah. I don't know that I have a.
Jimmy was pointed, yeah, it'd have to be, but Jimmy was pointed at large.
Okay,
From city standpoint.
Yeah.
I'll swap that out.
So Rudy would be the chairman of
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't there.
And he wasn't there,
You can
that's
still
why.
be the place.
And you're gonna be the vice, yes.
Pardon?
I
And
just
then-
said it said that you weren't there.
And Rod will be the vice, so,
Okay.
but that's fine, I mean,
Chairman.
you
Yeah,
know,
I was under the weather, I couldn't make. it.
yeah, no, that's fine. It just-
Rod Vice.
get
Okay,
that squared
I'll
away.
fix that. So basically, if I'm understanding the process correctly, if you guys want to allow these landowners to start their process, there's like, you have to publish it in the paper for
Yeah, you
4
gotta keep-
weeks.
You gotta give everybody else in the town a chance to protest if they want to, basically. I don't know if that's the right word or
We have to have
public meeting. No, I don't think you do.
It said your notice of hearing can be at the end of this and you can do it within your normal.
Yeah.
So we would-
do it here.
Advertise it for 4 weeks and then in 4 weeks at council, that would be that hearing. If I'm understanding that correctly.
I believe you're right. So if you want, you can go ahead and start publishing that.
Okay.
Can of paper. I shouldn't have to.
Tom Robbins, he works with me, he was pretty worried about his fence, you know, making sure that it was legal and stuff. Derek measured, and so I don't know why, like Hagler's trees or fences in front of the trees and the property line is actually behind the trees. That's what their biggest concern was, is that his fence was on the opposite side of the trees on 12th Street, and that's where the property line measures. His property goes on the other side of the trees. It's got 160 wide by 140 foot lot, and 140 feet. Derek even went out over the ways out of the street and measured back. And he still had plenty of room. So he still got like 3 feet on the other side of the fence that he owns.
Well, that's the trouble. Technically, you can put a fence on the line. But then you got the problem, if it needs some painting or staining or something, how do you take care of the back side of it if the neighbor don't let you on there? So you can- But and then on the other,
But then on the other side, it's a city property. and
Then
there's nothing on that street.
Okay. The other thing, then if you pull it in a foot, well, then you're responsible to mow that, you know, so it's a kind of a nasty
And
situation.
he's putting a
Fences
gate
are
in the back
bad.
so he can mow, so he can
You're
go to
running
the
the
back side.
problem. Fences are bad no matter what.
Yeah.
You're running the problem.
Yeah. Right.
But he talked to Lisa after everything was done. She said, as long as it's.
Yep, well, that's all you can do, you know. And this is our, I guess, our finance committee met them and that's what a little bit we talked about there. You know, I mentioned that maybe raising the sewer rates here in the first part of the year and And some of the things we know is going up, fuel in this different time, things like that, so.
I started writing a little bit more detailed notes so that it's easier for the committee to pick back up where they left off and where, for me, these minutes aren't published, but they would be available. I'll probably put them on our website once, but we don't need to print these in the newspaper, but they are available if the public wanted to see them. I don't think it's worthy of, because there's not really any motions or anything like that.
I don't think you even need to put them on the website. That's really,
It's,
it
yeah,
really isn't anything. I mean, it'll all come out in the, when we do the budget here, then it shows up for everybody. to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't even waste your time printing it up on the website. It doesn't say nothing.
it's just kind of that transparency for our voters and our residents, these subcommittees, these are subject to open meeting laws as well. So we're kind of trying to just get you err on the side of transparency, and more documentation is always better.
Yeah, I guess the other thing we did talk about a little bit was, should we take over building the commercials? We used to do that until the circle come along, and they've been doing it, so.
And that did not want to take.
The net just didn't want to do building,
Anything with building.
so they're getting quite a break on this compared to what normally,
They're getting-
Roger's grinning, but already. But I mean,
There is some revenue to be made.
So we don't collect any of the money from commercial.
no, that goes direct to circle, so.
Well,
And
we're making money off every
the
resident.
residents we are,
Should their fees go up?
A little bit.
did. I mean, it wasn't, I don't think we were only gonna triple it, wasn't it?
Something like that. It kind of makes sense. I mean, they're using our streets and. It makes sense.
Yeah,
Why shouldn't we pay a share of that,
right.
I guess?
And that's, so it's just a matter of making out a few more bills every month then for us as far as.
It just goes on the water. bill.
It would just go on the water
Yeah.
bill.
It's not a real big deal. It wouldn't change much, other than you're gonna hear some squawking from the businesses because they're. Things are
How
gonna go
much
up. a
is it
little.
gonna go up if they say they have just have a little rolling dumpster like residential?
To be determined by you guys.
Oh,
What was it you paid right now?
This shit was 79.
79 or 80 bucks.
Because
That's for the dump, a big
The-
dumpster.
the commercial dumpster like I have at home, they charge 26 for that.
Your
Because that's what we paid
that.
at First Street.
No, I think it's before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one of the rolling dumpsters like a residential that are out in our mail hospital. It's 26 bucks. It's
Yeah, yeah.
residential.
But
Which I thought that should have been at least like $4 more. Than residential, commercial is always gonna higher. than
yeah,
residential.
because 26 is what a resident pays, and it's a family.
A family residence.
Anything over 2 people or more. It's 26, so that's what we,
I mean, our resident markup is $7 for a family.
is it 7 or 6?
It's we get charged 19 regardless. So for a single house, we're only marking it up $1. For a family, we're marking it up $7. I would mark it up the same. I mean, we don't want to penalize commercial, or you could do a percentage of their bill. Whatever that percentage is, but
Yeah.
the
But I
idea
would-
it's not to
Basically, we're just
penalize.
doing a base rate.
Yeah,
Like say maybe just mark it up to $7 and more than what they're paying now, and I don't think anybody will holler too much.
right.
And the biggest, like I said, what Roger said, they're driving on our
Mhm.
streets to get your garbage.
Yeah.
And you're not paying anything extra for that.
We-
Repairs.
Yeah, we had a while ago when we talked about this at council, I don't know, 6 months ago or whenever it was. I did have a small business owner. The feedback was, well, why penalize us if we're in business? And that's not the intention. It's just to do the same markup as what we would do for a homeowner.
You're not getting penalized, but you're not paying to help maintain
That's right.
everything like
That's right.
the whole residents are either.
So did you guys want to wait until that gets through the budget committee, or do you want to go ahead and have like a magic start day?
Well, we got meetings will be having a budget, right? Roughly.
Well, I mean, the budget would be approved not to start until just till January.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Maybe that's just a good time to do that.
Do every.
Do everything. right
everything
then.
in January.
You know, if we're gonna increase the sewer, then we'll increase this too at the same time.
And then it would give everybody a little bit of time to think about it, and then it would come
Use
full
your garbage a
approval.
lot until the first, because you're.
Fill it full now. It's only a one-time fee, so. It's
Yeah.
Once a month fee.
We'll have to notify. Circle when we're gonna take it over.
Get the list on now.
Uh,
Get their list.
I have their list. I know what everybody pays. It probably changes twice a year. You have some seasonal businesses, you know, like the Q. It's got a little bit different fee schedule in the summer as it does in the winter. But most businesses are the same.
Anybody else have any?
What is the circle charge for those roll off, you know?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious,
It's a bunch, I
I
mean.
mean, the city are getting a pretty good deal there, having a place to dump all their, you know, they're dumping stuff in there they shouldn't be, but that's kind of handy.
It's too bad we didn't have some twigs and stuff.
Well, I always said, if a guy got some poles and set up their back by that fence coming out and sheeted up, everybody throw their junk in there, would make it wide enough for the payloader to get in there, you could scoop out and just dump it in one of our dump trucks and haul it out the dump, you know, and we wouldn't pay them at all for some of that. But like you say, they probably put stuff they shouldn't in, but for the bags and garbage of leaves and stuff, that would work fine.
Yeah, because, you know, they're gonna throw bags with garbage in it.
Yeah,
And then who's gonna dig through it, you know, that's.
Yeah.
Can't-
No, I know what you're
can't
saying.
wonder.
Nice to have big trees, branches.
yeah, but that could go in that could get hauled out.
Well, even the
Yeah.
grass, it's a pain in the ass to
Yeah.
dump grass in that dumpster. Like if you load it in a pickup truck, then you gotta shovel it all out or dump a garbage can in there or
When you're
whatever.
dealing with the state, that landfill gets to be a major damn deal, we could lose it or use it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. But, you know, yeah.
But if we have to put a camera back there, first, hey, you can't be dumping this stuff back.
You probably have your hot list of 3 or 4.
I walk
Naughty.
out that way sometimes when I see somebody that shouldn't be dumping and they get out of the truck, then they get back in, take off. So I don't know if they got stuff.
You know
they
what
shouldn't
you're
be
gonna
dumping.
throw.
Yeah, like you said, you can put a trail cam out there.
Oh, sure.
And watch what everything puts in there, and just go, hey, you gotta be dumping this. This is
I know a lot.
You
One
guys
and
have
only
a
one
vehicle?
cardboard to that.
Do you have a
dumpster right
vehicle
by
out
the-
there, another one?
That's what, I was
Like
told that
the
one
end?
time to bring cardboard.
Or was that the
cardboard
thing from the
boxes.
dairy?
When I-
No, this was a
Oh, I don't know.
the guy who went up north
Yeah.
of Hansburg.
I didn't think
Can't
so.
remember who told me that. They
Parked
said
his
that's
van
what
and
it's
ran
for.
across
It's
the
for
border.
cardboard.
He took his van.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
That's not true, right?
I don't think
Not
so.
for cart, it's just for grass and leaves.
Well,
No,
no,
that's
that's
roll-off.
roll-off. That's
That's a
a big
dumpster.
roll-off box.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
like
a
something.
There's
dumpster.
a regular dumpster
Sure.
with a lid.
Yeah, and I was always told to bring cardboard boxes there. I can't remember who told me that. So if I have a big one that can't fit into the planes, then I bring it up there. Cause they always tell us we can use it.
Well, there's no other do than
I do have something.
You do, okay.
A little bit old, but a little bit new too. I talked to Staus about the Audi. And there are some, I don't know about updating, maybe getting some updated lighting in there for the Audi portion. Because it's a pain in the butt to set up that scaffolding to get all the way up to that ceiling. Is there any way we can maybe possibly get LEDs up there or something that lasts a little bit longer than the bulbs? Everybody's going to LEDs.
What's in there right now? Just a regular.
There's a globe up there, so I
Oh.
don't know exactly what it
An old
is.
style bulb. Yeah.
Right,
So you don't know if there's any incandescent regular ones or. it's
I'd have to
just-
talk to Scott when he's gonna set up scaffolding on a rainy day to change out those few bulbs that are.
Yeah, that's just bad. They gotta use scaffolding to change the bulb.
That's the only way to get around those chairs.
One row of lights in that theater would be plenty, because they never have, it's never lit up.
Yeah, it's dark all the time anyway, yeah. Wouldn't take much.
And then the other concern I have is the shingles on the roof. There's multiple missing. There are sections letting loose. I was up top of the fire department roof and I got a little bit better look at it. And there's sections of it letting loose. There's a gutter down in between the fire station and the Audi, just hanging there. If we don't do something about it, we're probably gonna lose the roof.
And they got any plan for any fundraising next time?
We checked with the insurance and they need an event, something that happened that would cause these shingles to fall off.
Well, funny,
Windstorm.
Wind,
Right,
You gotta pick a strong enough windstorm to work, because it's in town, so you're not gonna get.
and there's
over.
all sides that are missing, so it's,
there was no tar on those shingles, you know, that path.
I don't know how old they are. I remember it being done. but
Poor
it's-
shingle, they didn't glue down, they blew off right away.
then
How
you
come?
can't-
Yeah, a lot of them have been gone for a long.
Yeah,
You
actually,
cannot- you cannot put tin on it because it's a historical building, but yet the back portion has tin on it. It's a small section, but.
on the garage part.
Yep. Yep, the back part where the cop shop used to be, or.
They're pretty particular because it's historical eligible, which means we have a little bit more flexibility than if it for sure is historic. But you're talking about communicating with the historical society.
Which is not fun.
It's not fun. It's very detailed. They want to see pictures. They get the say, we don't.
What do you guess the cost of shingle?
That being 3 stories up and. have
That's what I mean,
Fire
that's-
department on that side, you're gonna need equipment.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, the guys at Shingle, they had the snorkel thing that they are the lips. Was that the guy from Pethick?
We did the church, that's what I was wondering. if he was.
I
I was gonna say what they charge to do the courthouse, or this building, do you remember?
But if we can run through insurance and find out if they'll give us anything for it, it's
Yeah.
$1,000 deductible.
I don't imagine you're gonna get held on with the age on here.
I can have Brant look at it. He's coming to do Jim's house. That farm.
We shingled this courthouse.
At least it would give us an idea what it's gonna cost us. Well, they just shoot it somewhere last year.
It's a-
Three of us shingled.
From Pethick, Phil and Brant.
There's a lot of usually does on church.
Church, get steeples, ask them to give us an estimate. Give us, we gotta have a starting. point.
Do you guys want me to start an insurance claim or?
Yeah. Do
Okay,
it, try it.
Well, I don't think you're gonna get anything because you.
Well, I,
can't
because
have-
the being it's on all sides, and apparently it was a tornado right above us, and it whips off all the sides.
I mean,
That's
it
pretty
might
easy to
be-
explain.
we'd
Yeah,
almost
nothing
have to
explained
coincide it with a rainstorm or a windstorm, and then they're gonna investigate it and they're gonna say, well, how long have these been missing?
I know, I went online, looked at pictures from, I don't know how old the pictures are from, but the pictures you can see she was missing more so now, but.
You know,
I think they were coming off about the time they got done.
why was that
It's been
not like,
3 years it's been going that
It's
way.
always been that way as long as I can remember, but I wonder what the age of those, are. They might be timed out. You're getting nothing.
They're like a 3 tab or the first
First three.
Oh, they were them.
early 2000s.
They're not
I'd say.
architectural, but that's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure
then-
it's 20 years.
I also had Mark, I talked to Mark about that lift. And he was gonna, he order a part for the switch for the charger, so it's operational. And then possibly needs new batteries. Says possibly they'd work as long as the charger would work. But he's not sure until that happens.
So he ordered.
That's a switch, some sort of switch he ordered. He said, hey, you don't know. what's-
Safety switch of some kind.
It's to turn, it's to turn the charger on.
Oh,
when it docks.
Okay.
So,
Then we'll move on to an open committee. This would be new to- I know Rudy and I both know what this is. I don't know if anybody else.
Yep.
Sad, you read. This is just, we're gonna go one by one here. I want anything you've heard or people have talked to you about, just bring it out. It's, we're not making any actions on anything. It's just
The only thing I've had is a neighbor contact me about Yoder's residence, which you guys brought that up before.
Yeah.
I heard two neighbors, but that's
What's that on, Rob?
Yoder's.
The Yoder house.
I've been over there and, they're getting a pretty good start on it with that loading that trailer. There's a guy he filled that whole trailer in one day. It's one of the big dump trailers.
Mhm.
And then, Mark Swanson, he caught one good sized rat and then lots of mice. And that was after they started cleaning stuff up. They all herded across the street.
That's gonna be the problem with that, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the problem, the
Well, then
neighbors.
they
are all
just
gonna
go to
get
the
it.
next place.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've noticed they do have the garage door closed once in
Yeah,
a while now.
yeah, Mark went and got a bunch of good traps. And he did catch one big old rat. And I don't know what went the other way over to, what's her name?
Yeah.
Randy
Wakefield.
Colton's, Randy Colton's or West?
No, to the north.
Wakefield.
Oh, that'd be Brady and Jen, or Jen.
Jen, well, you know, all that brush back there.
Well, if they come into
They
ours,
couldn't
there's
mow
two
back
dogs.
there. It's pretty,
Tree.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
they-
bushy back there.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, well, you'll find out in the days to come, I guess.
We did send her a letter asking her to rectify the situation. We can't,
You did say?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There is not anything in our ordinances that specifically, I couldn't find like any type of violation of an ordinance.
Derelict property.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, doors open so things can get in.
yeah, so we were kind of tiptoeing around it. We respectfully request you rectify the situation. We can't require it at this point. I don't know what the timeline is. I mean, a month, and if there's more rodent activity, then we can attempt to go through the health department at that point, but the health department was not very helpful.
You will not get anything out of the health department,
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
The best thing to do on that
They
is
will not do anything.
bite the bullet, city pay for an exterminator to come for Devils Lake, somebody with good stuff and have them put it out or traps or poison
Sure.
or whatever and try to take care of the situation.
Well, you can add that on the taxes.
Pardon?
Then put it on the taxes.
Yeah, do that.
Well, and that's what's hard is there's no proof in our ordinances that there's anything that she's violating.
Because sometimes you gotta take the initiative that there isn't anything in writing
Right.
someplace, you know.
So we sent her a letter requesting her to rectify it. I don't know if that's good enough to pass on to the neighbors saying we're attempting. If they just let us know, like keep us informed, if you continue to see pests, then we can kind of cross it again. I don't know, we sent that letter shortly after the last meeting, so.
I hope he doesn't have to dump that out there at landfill. I hope he's got a place to dump it, whoever it is. I don't know who the heck it is. Never seen him before. Whoever was doing it, I don't know if it's her boyfriend or what.
Sid, you got?
Yep.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, roughly, guy called and wondered if there was any vacant lots in town that he could build a shop on, to put a snow bear in for the winter, just thought out. So I thought, thinking, well, maybe Larabos. So I said, well, I got one, I think you can buy it, maybe if we get together with them. And then I said, but you have to tear the house down. Well, I was fine with that, if he can buy it right. And I talked to him today at about 4 o'clock, and they couldn't get a hold of John. So I made a call to Steve Price, and he called another guy that he knows that talks to them. When they called me back, so I called this party back and said, well, you can call John at this number now. He's there. And they called back, and I think I got a call at 5 o'clock, and they supposedly bought the lots.
Who is this guy?
I'm not saying that yet.
Oh,
In case it falls through, I don't want to say that. But I was up front, and I told him that house has to come down. Yeah, he's more than willing to do that. He wanted something out, kind of the outside of the town where it'd be easy to get at and everything, and you know, that he could come in off the elevator road there or whatever, so.
There was some young kid mowing, I don't know who that
Oh, I
was,
don't know.
and he was back there with that big mower and just, he was hitting stuff. Oh, man. it did
Things were
something.
grinding.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it's been mowed, but I don't know how much they cleaned up, and I suppose there's probably branches up and everything.
Probably cleaned up where the trailer.
Oh,
is.
yes.
This is back in behind the
Behind
house.
the house. So anyway, hopefully that might, they're gonna do some checking yet. It was just a verbal thing. So I mean, that was just happened today. So hopefully here in the next week or two, we'll find out that it happened and they got the paper signed and everything.
Rolly, would he want the lot next to it too?
You'll take all three of them. Well, John said he owns 3 lots there.
Well, because the city owns one now, you know?
Did we get that one back?
Yes, we did. We tried to
I'll
sell it.
talk to the guy again. He doesn't know that.
Yeah, because it would be good if we didn't have to mow it.
Okay. Well, how about just give him a lot for tearing the house down?
I was gonna say we could do that too, just give it to him, because it's a small lot, I'm sure, 25 footer, which is.
Yeah, it's really teeny.
Is there any back taxes on that?
Well, that's up to them. See, and I told them that. I said, no, you better go up here first and find out what's owed against that. And before you settle up with him, you better find out who's paying what and everything, because I can't imagine the taxes on that are very high.
Well, they're not, except last year we assessed quite a bit because we ended up mowing it all summer.
Oh.
And we charged for cleanup. So the years previous aren't high, but last year's was
Okay,
like, I don't know.
well, I'll get a hold of this guy together and explain.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get a taxable building on there again. So that'll help.
If he does do that, we'd have to process some sort of deed for that lot that we own. And then he'd have
Quick
his,
claim deed,
yeah.
just flip it over. That's, John, I guess, had told him he didn't have any kind of, he doesn't think he had any paperwork on it, so. As long as, you know, they're not borrowing any money to do it, so I don't think there'll be any, they don't need to update anything there, so I think they can just roll that over with a quick deed. Shouldn't be any issues. I told him to go see Bruce about it.
You want to put a building on there?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Like a-
live there?
No, just a nice shop.
Here we go.
No, just all, he just wants to store his snow bear in it in the winter, so it'll thaw
Oh, I know who it is.
out. Oh, who do you think?
Randy, probably.
No, no. No, and they already talked about, you know, making it look somewhat like Belzer's building, like the old John Deere across the way or something. I mean, it's not gonna be just a piece of junk he puts up. It's gonna be a nice building.
Is there anything in the ordinance for residential area?
Well, you're not
That has
supposed
to
to,
have.
you're
house
supposed to be residential, you know,
Yeah.
you gotta live there.
Well,
That's what I'm getting at.
that's done all over town.
Oh,
now, I
man, look
think,
at
so.
Oakland's over there though. He's got 2 little garages over there. And
Who?
Oakland. Justin's dad. He's got 2 garages, or he's got that
North
long
of the
skinny
courthouse.
building and then that little shed on the property next to me.
the alternative is
I
a
don't even know.
broken down
Who's that?
house that.
Straight north of the
Right
courthouse.
across from the courthouse.
Straight north there. I don't see the, I
Tiny
mean,
home.
right along Elevator Road, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal.
I suppose you could put a tiny home on an 8x8 house or something.
When we gave Tommy O'Brien permission to put that garage only on that Winnigy lot, the adjacent neighbors had to sign off on it.
Wish the neighbors would probably be happy to have a decent looking building. like that.
So I will cross it.
I think we've let that go, so the city has let that go. so
I'd rather
many
have
times.
that.
Yeah, I don't.
We've got too many places that have just a garage on property.
Too much. Jeremy, what do you got?
I ain't actually got nothing for a change.
Todd?
I do have something, we talked about, meetings on the first Tuesday of the month. I didn't know if we had any, opinion on maybe changing that, or, is there any, way we can maybe go to the second and fourth Tuesday of the month?
Second Tuesday, you'll run into the park board here.
Yeah, we did it that way, but yeah, there's other people, a lot of people use this. That's what kind of what
Well,
happens.
can we go to 6 o'clock on the first meeting so we can get to the 7 o'clock meeting?
Well,
On the first, just on the first one?
maybe once after harvest, probably. I would say not now anymore, but
Farmers,
I can't help that.
only two of you are farming now,
Huh?
only two of you are farming.
Well, that's enough.
So you could run that meeting that one. One or two. Hey, I had to do it a couple times, just do it a couple times, you could run the meeting, you guys come in afterwards.
What, 4 weeks at least, I think.
And then what kind of year you get, yeah, fall.
We usually get that about November, Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, that's right. But,
Have a good year.
yeah, I'd really like to go to earlier, like through the winter, for sure. And then I guess we've had some other problems with Mondays, and there was bowling and a bunch of other things were interfering. It was just, then Wednesday, I guess, is church night, that interferes.
Well,
and-
what, I mean, wouldn't be a big deal if he missed the, I mean, he could leave here at like, Marty, I mean, just.
Our
go-
meetings are at 7, so.
Just if he's gone the first one. of the
Can you get him to move
for a
up?
couple-
That affects
I
Scott
haven't
too.
been to a meeting since
Yeah.
March. So I'll have to go to this meeting and ask them if they're willing to change to a second Tuesday. So the first Tuesday, I'll probably be missing this in order to ask them. at the
Yeah, see if
meeting.
they can move one, or, you know.
I'm gonna ask, all they can say is no too, but I'd like to make their meetings too.
Oh, no, I.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That affects
understand.
Scott too. He's now on. So he's supposed to be here as well, but he's also supposed to be at the fire
Oh, he did, he's on, oh, okay. I
So-
figured he was gonna be, but I haven't heard anything.
2 out of 8.
No, I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, ask them and then see what we can.
And
Why'd they change from Monday to Tuesday again?
Well, there was a bunch of bowling and there was several conflicts going on. from
at the
Monday.
time, Troy and I and Mark were all bowling on Monday nights.
I know like the state rules, Monday it's supposed to be the council meeting.
Oh,
It's the guideline that because
in
the
the book.
cities have to have some sort of precedence, but each city has their own,
Well, I know why we changed it.
they
And
can
that's to
change.
get things ready in time.
that was part of it.
That was it. I remember.
That was part of it. Yeah.
A lot of cities change it based on the group that's elected though.
See, then isn't Devils Lake still only having one meeting a month?
I don't know about that,
No, they got two.
but
Here
they,
on the radio, they got two.
And they're at 5:30.
yeah, they're
5:30.
early. Same with Minot. There's a lot of towns that are early,
Well, no,
5:30.
early, but I mean, they only have one meeting a month,
No.
unless they have special.
Oh,
meeting.
Devils Lake too.
They're down there on our schedule.
Yeah.
But you always hear it on the radio. You're either on.
See,
Monday or
but you
Tuesday.
you can't get back till when, too. I mean, you work till,
I get done at 6, but I can leave at 5:30. I could be here by 6. Just eat supper when I get done.
we'll look into that. Rudy, what do you got for the open meeting?
I just got some stuff for Sig to relay to the city boys.
You wanna just give them that after the meeting?
Yeah, it's just a couple of things.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, the kids are turning all the stop signs and they're actually, some of the stop signs are turned all the way the other way. I don't know if you ever seen them around. And then the street signs, they spin easy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But they should start fixing some of that stuff when they get time, I guess.
The rest of them.
The weed thing, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not getting around
Oh,
spraying
I'm
at all.
getting lots of slack on that.
I mean, it is
Bruce
really
said
bad.
he went out, Scott was going down 281. And I had 2 people tell me Scott was going down with a weed eating them and then going back and spraying them.
Yeah, that's how bad they were. Yeah, they were 18 inches tall.
Spray should still take them down.
But
But
they're
still,
not spraying,
spraying
they
them
haven't sprayed.
I mean, I see where somebody sprayed one side of the street, and the other side, it's about that high,
Yeah.
about that wide. I don't get it.
They're just no priority.
No, it's, but anyway, I mean, I went through a couple.
I've had a lot of people complain. That's the one, I guess I did have that complaint, is that the weeds are ridiculous on the streets.
It's just the part I hated that it pushes the damn asphalt up because it's only about that thick along the curb.
Yeah.
And that grass just slips it right over. And then it starts getting eaten out.
Tomorrow will be bad for spraying again, too. It's wind and all, I think.
And it was raining today.
Too windy anyway. but Getting
And then
those
we only
kids
got
arrested.
two guys,
He's gotta use those square poles.
Yeah.
we only got two guys that sprayed, right? Bruce doesn't spray.
Bruce can't spray,
Yeah.
When we hired him, though, he did say he would if he had a mask. If he had to, he said.
Cause that's another bad thing, you know, I don't know what Bruce is doing, do you know?
I'm not sure.
He was one day, right?
Ditches out there.
I know, right?
One today.
Right before Brady was going on the ditches. You know, out here.
He did go out and spray actually to that, they sprayed the camp or the fairgrounds out before that.
Didn't feel like it was.
No, Al,
I know.
that's the trouble, you're gonna move in from everywhere.
Oh, and then they actually,
With a bus
Jason
back.
said he had to ask him to go mow again because it was like
I
this
haven't
tall.
seen any mosquitoes in town.
So they had to go out and mow that morning. Somebody had to go out and mow that morning.
Was there any
because it
bugs out
was
there?
tall again.
Was there?
Once it got dark, yeah.
Yeah, it got really bad.
Trouble is, it don't, you can spray, it doesn't do any good though, if they just move in.
It's contact.
No, I just said that, I'm glad they're out there, they're not.
Yeah.
Well, next year they wanna do it on Main Street. Do everything on Main Street.
Again, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that way they can walk to the bars. They don't have to have a liquor vendor out there. They can,
Yeah.
like we
Oh,
do.
A
with
simplified
street
thing,
dances.
yes.
Yeah, it'd be just like the centennial thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is not big a deal.
Community support would probably be better with that.
Yeah, I think you're right there
You
too.
would
yeah.
be, I think, yeah.
You're probably less likely to have the bugs.
I think the biggest thing was this is a Cando thing, and as soon as you started talking about bringing in bikers from Minot and all this
Exactly.
other stuff, a lot of people just.
Yeah, I think that the
true.
biker deal was
Yeah.
a big scare for everybody.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah,
steer
and then
away.
kept getting canceled because they didn't have enough sign.
No.
It was, I mean, those bands were.
Really
were-
good.
They were good. And having the country guy and the rock, kind of appeasing everybody, and
I missed the magician. They said he was pretty good too.
the comedian,
Oh, yeah, the comedian.
yeah, he wasn't bad.
But I heard on Facebook that he's booked the same bands again, or is trying to.
One of them.
Johnny Cash guy, and then,
Ron O'Neill or whatever his name is. But that Skinner tribute band
They were
was really
good.
good.
They were
They played some
fantastic.
38 special and everything.
Yeah,
So they were sending up some balloons or something, or?
Lanterns.
Oh,
They gave everybody a lantern to light, and that was hilarious because unless you got the right wind, they wanted to blow across there, and Lane Peterson kept getting his, and then it let go, and then it started blowing, and then it do a little grass right here, boom, 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 and you got to run
Oh.
behind it. And it finally picked up air and went up in the air and stuff. So they had J.R. Thomas who had a drone up there and was recording it and stuff. So it's really neat. I think they probably got a couple hundred in the air
yeah,
stuff.
And then just the amount of people. If that's where you ran into trouble with us, when you said 5,000 people. And once you started calling around and found out that these security companies are gonna charge $50,000. It kind of took the wind out of the sails, and we eventually ended up doing it, and I put out an email to the surrounding counties and stuff asking for help, and I had 3.
Yeah, Roulette came down.
Yeah, some of you guys from Roulette came down and helped us out. But, I said, if you had it like a normal Cando thing, we just need 2 guys. 200 to 300 people, 2 cops. We're good. And you're dealing with locals, all the locals, you don't have to worry about them.
You get your locals and then you get some of their family members come, we're having this come down.
Yeah.
Like that.
And I know it's selfish. In 18 years, I've never got to enjoy a golfing 4th of July deal here. I've always had to work some.
You're the top dog.
I-
You can
I
start
am now.
delegating authority here.
I'm trying to lead by example a little bit. and the next year, yeah.
Saying you're gonna be dancing in the streets next year, is that what you're saying? Roger, you live in the gossip center there, you work in the gossip center every morning, so what do you got to say?
We're good, they're retired.
That should be worse yet then.
Yeah. Can't
Bunch of
believe
grumpy
this
old men.
is. Yeah, can't believe what this is. No, I'm good.
Good, okay.
I'm kind of liking that working in town, now you're getting a call from Tubby 3 times a week about the damn semis from the elevators.
Not too bad. Not
Somebody else is gonna get it done.
telling me nothing you can do about it. Designated drug routes. Okay, the financials.
Couple things to note. Obviously, our cemetery is looking a little,
That's normal.
yeah. I haven't sold very many plots this year, like at all. And so that's something that last year we sold a lot more. I don't really see anything out of the ordinary.
Copy.
On the back.
Should be on the back of the finance committee,
Finance.
attempting to save money,
Right before the.
paper.
stuff.
Like I mentioned earlier, next month we'll see our COVID money on there. So that will go up a little bit.
Is that the exact same check?
83,560.49 is what we'll get on Friday. So pretty close to the same. And then, of course, that the prairie dog money, didn't budget for it. If we get it, we get it.
You can't look at that one. Okay.
Then, of course, there's all the supporting documentation for the bank accounts. It's kind of a lot. So we have a reconciliation that comes from our accounting software and then the bank statements that come from the bank. And you will see some little differences here and there depending on what's cleared and what hasn't cleared and that type of thing. But it kind of tells you where those bank accounts are at. Of course, like we've kind of talked about, those balances are a little bit misleading because we're taking money out and it's revolving always. We'll have some pretty significant bills soon. You'll see a big hit in August or September. I can't remember when our loan payment comes out. So that'll come out of the water fund. So that fund always looks like it's better, but you have a twice a year loan payment. Any questions on the financials? I have pretty much turned all of the bank statements and ins and outs and water bills and all of that. I've pretty much turned all of that over to Kathy. She pretty much runs with it. If she has a question, she'll call my attention to it, but her eye has really kind of enveloped around that. So I don't necessarily microscope these anymore. But if you guys have questions, we can analyze them and look at them a little closer. The thing that I do like is just for the recording purposes, council signs the vouchers and the checks, and then you also see the copies of what's running through the bank. So all sorts of transparency there. If there's anything that looks odd or anything, please call my attention to it. Scott did it, Todd did it last time. We found a couple little errors, which is, we appreciate that, because by the end of the day, the numbers all kind of look the same to us. So we do appreciate the vigilance in that. Find it now rather than when we try to reconcile the checkbook later.
I do actually have two for this, for July 19th.
Okay,
Capital Guardian, I looked at the paperwork behind there and I have two pieces of paper there saying Bruce Ford 143.94 and then Scott 133.94 for a total of 371.99, and then the other page is 102.82.
so I can explain that. The first page that has Bruce on there,
Yep.
we paid him for his vacation twice. So that line item is voided out and removed, and the back page replaces it.
Okay, just wanted
Yep.
to confirm that.
We didn't want to completely remove that from the report because his check in the accounting software is voided. So it's a paper trail of that transaction. So,
And the second one for Team Lab for the fine road or the road patch.
okay,
The bill, its subtotal is 2,100 and that's what is made out. But then after you do the freight and then the discount, your total is 2,221, not 2,100.
not 2,100. Okay, we will fix that. Team Lab, we typically, we will process that with them if they want a different check or if they want to have that on account. Thank you for checking.
You got on the top here, Judy. All right, we can pay some bills. Are we?
So like Todd just pointed out, Team Lab on
Second row bottom.
second row, we'll have a small adjustment there. It looks like it's just a keystroke. So that correction will be, instead of 2,100, it'll be $2,221.
Do we have a motion to pay some bills? Corrections? Okay. Second. Second.
With correction, okay.
Motion made. What's the one the Wilson's for? Huh? No, body shop, body.
Our windshield. Bruce went through the windshield
Oh, on the blade.
on the
What
blade.
are they gonna do with the trees that they don't want? You know,
I don't know.
what a waste.
I think they're gonna plant them, yeah.
Oh, who, I mean, the city that you're gonna plant?
No, Ross, I'm sure. Motion been made and second to pay the bills. Let's get that done. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Same sign. Carried. I'm sure Ross will go into that.
Thought it was kind of hard on the sun there. As long as they're getting
Oh,
water.
if they get water, they'll be all right.
Is the committee selling those or they're planting them all?
I don't even know, you know, and I haven't got a chance to even talk about it.
Cause we paid for them already, right?
You're on that, aren't you? Trade trees.
That's what that 5,000.
Haven't heard it.
Are you selling them or planting them?
Gotta have a meeting first. I don't have any clue.
I just think Ross will probably get them in.
Well, you know, he's got a bunch of spots marked on 41 and 15th Street. So it looks like it's fine.
Then,
I think the biggest thing is we need to get, he's got side stuff. he thinks not going. There is
Scott, Scott did go talk to that kid in town, Double Slate, taking down the big trees, and I think there was like 3 of them, our guys didn't think they could handle, but I don't remember the number. Scott said he took the guy over to look at these 3 and they got a bid on it, but then after that, I heard all the cops around and just hidden, had a warrant for his arrest out or something, so they kept him up, so I don't know what's
Dana
going on.
Thomas.
Huh?
Dana Thomas.
Who?
Dana Thomas. That's who the kid was.
Oh,
He used to play hockey.
Ron's boy?
I don't know who it is, but he played junior gold. here for a while.
That's the one we caught out at Jim's farm stealing stuff.
no.
When you,
Well, I thought they said this guy, he told me maybe it was his helper, then, 'cause he told me that he was, his mom was Danny Noss's second wife.
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah.
yeah.
Lori's?
That's one of the Danny's twin.
Yeah.
His dad name was Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dana, yeah.
You mean, I'm talking about the Dairy Queen deal?
Yeah, Mike used to work at work on the bowling alley up
Well,
there.
that's
He used to
one of
work
the
with them.
twins.
He's the one that got taken down, isn't he?
Or maybe
I
he
don't
was
know.
with.
I don't know either. I just heard him
Said
say
there was just 5 of them there.
Well, RJ told me that Mike got taken down.
Oh.
so, yeah, they had a warrant for his arrest is all I heard, and then I remember where they said
Yeah,
that. They
it's
say
just-
from my town.
It could have been bad.
They got Mike, he said?
Andy went in and talked to all the kids. There was full of
Like
kids.
7 outstanding warrants.
That was good that he went in there. And the kids were in there and they were shitting their pants.
Got him out. Or calling this all-
Well, Dana was in trouble the last time he was here. He came up to bowl in a tournament 2 years ago. Then he went back on Sunday and he was arrested.
Sure, why not?
Domestic against his girlfriend. He was thrown in jail for a year.
Well, anybody have anything else? Not, we'll just say meeting adjourned.
If anybody wants the PowerPoint from the training that Todd attended, it's kind of dry, but it was a good overview, I thought. We do have that, and there's some educational resources available very soon. You guys all have a copy of that. And yeah. You got enough to do?